What's happening, people? Welcome back to another Inside Colebys. Today we're going to be talking about the new releases 2021 from Rolex. Rolex have made their changes, discontinued some things and brought out some new bits as they do every year. So what have they done this year? To be honest, not as much as what a lot of people thought. The main change or new model is the Explorer, which I'll go into detail and talk about. The rest is pretty much just dial changes and strap changes, adding different straps to sports models, but nothing major really. But I'll go over the Explorer and the dials in this video. Also, there's a couple of things. There's a dial which is a personal favourite of mine, which I've not actually seen anyone else mention in any videos. I think is the best dial they've brought out. And also, there's something they've discontinued, which a lot of people have actually missed, which I think is pretty important if you got one. So I'll go over that at the end of the video. So let's jump into the Explorer. So what have they changed with it? They've brought out the original Explorer, or the Explorer 1 with the smooth bezel. They've now made that in a steel and gold version. It'll be a good seller. I'm not necessarily a huge fan, to be honest, but yeah, it will be a good seller when it comes out. You start seeing them towards the end of the year. Everyone I spoke to in the watch world was expecting some kind of big change, whether it be a different colour dial, a ceramic bezel, even if they changed a hand to kind of green or just changed the colour. But nothing like that was done. They've just put a new movement in the Explorer 2, so it is now a different model. But yeah, no major changes there. Everyone was really expecting something different, or at least it to be maybe discontinued or some big news. But anyway, none of that happened. They've just put a new movement in the Explorer 2, so they're the main changes with the Explorers. So secondly, they've brought out a lot of new dials, really nice, a lot of stuff they haven't done before. So for the Datejust, they've brought out this palm motif dial, which is really nice, which I'll jump to now. I think it'd be a real good seller for women. Here you can get it in green, silver and gold. I think that'd be super popular, something different. They've never done nothing like that before. Also, aside from the palm motif, they've also brought out something called a fluted motif, which is kind of like a, I don't know, they look like kind of blocks on the dial. That's pretty cool. Again, there's not been nothing really similar to that before. That's quite nice. You can get that again in a few different colours. So that only comes on the Datejust. Something that not many people have mentioned, they brought out the Wimbledon Dial in the 36mm. So before you could only get it in a 41mm, now you can get it in a 36. Still think the 41mm will be much more popular, but that's pretty interesting. I don't think anyone expected that. So yeah, you can now get the Wimbledon Dial in a 36mm Datejust as well as a 41mm. So the main one everyone's talking about is the Meteorite Dials in the Daytonas, which I'm going to cover next. But I wanted to show you my favourite dial they've done this year, which I haven't heard many people talk about. Let's try and find it. So yeah, this is it here. Kiesel dial, I think it's called. It's like a browny black marble effect on the dial. I think it's stunning. In my opinion, this is the best thing, or the best dial they brought out with the new releases. Yeah, I think this actually beats all the other dials you can get for the Day 40. I think it's stunning. That in rose gold with the diamond bezel, that's going to be a good watch. Kind of reminds me of the old vintage spider dials you get when they start to crack. Maybe that's where they come up with it, but yeah, I think it's going to be a super popular watch. So next, moving on to the Daytonas. So I was surprised by this. They brought out the Meteorite Dial in the Daytonas, all the precious metals. You can pretty much get it in any configuration, rose gold, yellow gold, on the full metal bracelets. You can get it on the Oyster Flex models. So I don't know if you watched my previous video talking about the Meteorite Dials. I think they're pretty special. There's a limited supply to them. I'm surprised they brought it out in like a wide range of these watches. I can't see them running these for very long, but for sure this is going to be, apart from probably the green dial in the Daytona, I think it's going to be the most difficult dial to get in the Daytona, aside from the green, yellow, gold. But these are the pictures. If you've never seen a Meteorite Dial in person, these pictures do it no justice. The Meteorite Dial is stunning, and yeah, these are going to be super popular and very, very difficult to get hold of. So that was the Explorer changes and some of the dials, the new dials that come out. So they've also added some straps to some models. So in the Sky Dweller now, you can get a Jubilee strap on stainless steel Sky Dwellers and steel and gold Sky Dwellers. These are going to be sought after as soon as they come out. There's going to be plenty of people that want to be the first person to own one of these. I've had tons of messages already. People funnily enough, wanting the steel and gold Sky Dweller on the Jubilee strap, I've had quite a lot of messages about. To me it looks a bit odd, probably just because I'm used to it being on an Oyster strap. It kind of reminds me of a Datejust 41, but yeah, I think it's going to be popular. A lot of people have messaged me already. They've also put the Pepsi, the GMT Pepsi on an Oyster strap, whereas before it only come on a Jubilee, so now you've got the choice, whether it's on a Jubilee or Oyster. And also the Batman. So we used to call it the Batman on the Oyster and the Batgirl on the Jubilee. So they've changed it. Weird, they discontinued the Batman on the Oyster, so you could just get the Jubilee, but this week they've announced that you can now get the Batman on either the Oyster or the Jubilee. Same as the Pepsi, get it on the Oyster or the Jubilee. So that was the main changes and the new things they've brought out. But something that a lot of people have overlooked, and I noticed it straight away because I'm a massive fan of this, the mother of pearl dials in the Daytonas. They're not on the website no more. I can only presume they've discontinued them. Whenever one comes up in the trade, I've always tried to buy a mother of pearl Daytona, steel and gold, full gold. But yeah, you can't get the mother of pearl dials in the Daytona no more. So that's good news basically for the mother of pearl dials. I think it's going to make them creep up a bit in price. So that's something to bear in mind if you've got one. A couple things that I think people expected to happen or was rumouring, and it does my head in a bit, but a lot of people kind of jump on the hype and talk about the anniversary might be discontinued, the green dial Daytona, the platinum Daytona. I mean, no one knows for sure until the day. Anything can happen, but I didn't feel too strongly about it myself. I bought a yellow gold, a couple of yellow gold green Daytonas the other day for 20 grand more than they was a month and a half ago. I've still got confidence in them. They're definitely not going down. If they did get discontinued, they would have spiked up massively, but to be honest, I don't think that's sometimes healthy, because like the Hulk last year, sometimes they go up too much and it just becomes stupid. But so yeah, green dial Daytona is still around, platinum Daytona is still around. I still think they're going to creep up. Fantastic models. So that was it, just a little roundup on what's new with the 2021 releases with Rolex and a couple of things that they're not doing anymore. Nothing super exciting, no brand new models, just the subtle changes to the Explorer. All the new dials is kind of what people are talking about. Definitely the Meteorite Dials in the Daytonas is the most talked about one this year. But yeah, that was just a little overview. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you soon.